Suttles, and I am the president of the Sankofa Fund for Civic Engagement. We are absolutely thrilled about this evening. We'd like to thank the Hunter Museum for this beautiful space, as well as the Lyndhurst Foundation. Now, in 2015, Sankofa officially launched with the mission of funding and supporting local grassroots organizations, projects, and initiatives that directly impact our African American communities. We have 3 priority areas: education, civic engagement, and arts and culture. Since our inception, we have given out over $30,000 in grants. With our most recent support from the Lyndhurst Foundation, Sankofa has been able to focus more on arts and culture, which has led to the creation of our Community Arts Grants Program. We are extremely excited about our first recipients who will be performing this evening. But before we get started, we're going to have Shane Morrow talk a little bit more about the arts program and the process, just in case anybody's interested in applying.
Let's quickly share how we got here today. Because this is not about just Black History Month. This is not just about giving out gifts to individuals who do great work. Sankofa, when we started this whole Sankofa gig, we started making sure that we were going to make a positive change inside of our community. It was just that simple. One of the key elements that we knew that we wanted to make a difference was the arts. Why? We realized that through the arts, arts is universal. We all can connect to the arts, Black, white, Latina, because there's something about art that shows our culture, whether that's singing, whether that's dancing, whether that's rapping. We all show a gift inside what we call the arts and culture. So we wrote, in an effort to reduce barriers to art engagement and increase access and opportunity exclusively for Chattanooga's African American artists, art organizations, and art innovators, Sankofa provided 4 $3,000 grants to promote the arts and cultural participation, build community, and enhance cross-cultural understanding. We're at a point now, my friends, inside of our nation, inside of our city, where we keep defining what inclusive means. We have to make sure that we celebrate diversity. There's nothing wrong in sharing and celebrating diversity. The reason why we did this funding is because we realized that it is hard for some folks of color to receive funding for what they do. And we don't look at it as a funding. This is our investment. Our investment in the individuals, our investment in the youth, our investment inside these artists who are performing for you tonight. This is not a one-time gig. They are taking what they have done and they're going out into the community and they're sharing their gifts. We will continue to help them by giving them resources throughout the whole entire year. So it's not like we just gave you some dollars and then go away. To be a village, to be a family, to be inclusive, we all collectively have to be able to be active participants in helping our community. I'm extremely glad because our first round of folks that we got here, Felician, Josiah, Josiah goes, Josiah. Nabil, AKA So Chill. And last but not least, the one and only Michonne Calloway. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. If you feel like tapping, you tap. If you feel like shouting, jumping up, shout. We're okay. You're not gonna fall off, you're not gonna go into the water. You're gonna be okay. My first presentation and our first showcase is one remarkable African-American woman. For many years, she has taken her entire energy making sure she gave back to the community. She gave the gift of dance. The the gift of dance, but not any kind of dance. Dance of culture. What's dance of culture? Dance that we can relate to that ties into our history. What is that? All forms. All forms. But the thing about it that she takes the 4 and the 5-year-olds all the way to the 17 and 18-year-old underserved youth inside of our community to teach them how to dance. But teaching them how to dance does much more. It teaches them how to be able to relate, to be able to connect, to be able to show their gifts. Without further ado, I introduce to you Miss Felicia. Give her a round of applause.
Hi. Okay. We're gonna go through our show, so it's not gonna be one thing and then I talk to you and then another. First of all, I am so blessed to have this opportunity for my kids to be shown and to have someone pouring into them because we compete. We are a competitive dance team and we are national champions. But a lot of people, but we don't get to go to a lot of competitions because it's so costly. So we go to 1 or 2 a year, as many as we can, as many as we collectively can afford. But they shine. They always make sure that after they're done, people know that they exist. So I also have a guest dancer today. Who I wanted to say something about her too because we're going to go through, so I won't be introducing all of them. But she'll be signing because not only is she a dancer, a prima ballerina, but she's also she's deaf in one ear. She has an implant, so she's signing. And my kids they just took that and they were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What was she saying? How can not only were they hungry to be able to dance on point like she's going to do, but they were also like, I want to learn sign language now. So exposure is everything. And sometimes we don't have that opportunity. So I'm all about getting my kids the exposure that they can possibly have, any type of dance that they see, and they come to me and they're like, how do we do this? Okay, I'm going to teach you. You're hungry for it, I will teach you. So you're going to see several different genres of dance this evening. And from, like he said, from kids that from 1st grade all the way to my oldest is a 10th grader. We're going to start straight from the motherland. Tanilic dance, people.
Play this record as frequently as possible. Then, as it becomes easier for you, play the record once a day or as needed.
When the world has gone to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss or disappointment, and yet each of us has awakened and risen, despite it all, black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat, vow to celebrate. We rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. Everyone in the world is going to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss or development. And yet each of us has awakened and risen despite it all. Black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat. We rise.
Dorothy Vaughan was an African-American human computer mathematician and NASA's first black female supervisor. Mary Winston Jackson was the first black woman engineer at NASA in 1958. Katherine Johnson is an African-American mathematician who also made major contributions to the United States Aeronautics and Space Program.
Nothing else matters now, you're not here, so where are you? I've been calling you, I'm missing you. Where else can I go? Where else can I go? Chasing you, chasing you. Memories turn to dust. Please don't bury us. I got you. I got you. Running, 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 running from myself no more. Together we win it all. I'm running, 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 running from myself no more. I'm ready to face it all. If I lose myself, I lose it all. Running from myself no more. I'm ready to face it all. If I lose myself, I lose it all. If I lose myself, I lose it all.
These three brilliant African-American women served as the brains behind one of the greatest operations in history, the launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit, a stunning achievement that restored the nation's confidence, turned around the space race, and galvanized the world.
Play this record as frequently as possible. Then, as it becomes
Ladies and gentlemen, to kneel again. My name is Carmen Davis, and I'm one of the founding members of the Sankofa Fund for Civic Engagement here in Chattanooga. And I'm just going to give you a brief history of how we started and how we came together, and then we'll welcome our next performer. We encourage you all to stay. Even after all the performers finish, the galleries are open, and it's an opportunity to tour the museum for free, which they don't do often, so we encourage you to take advantage of that. In 2015, a group of 18 friends came together, so it's only 18 of us, to form the Sankofa Fund of Civic Engagement in Chattanooga. We each commit to make a personal financial contribution every year as part of our membership requirements. Okay, we all agreed to give a personal financial contribution every year to the fund in order to keep the fund going, which gives us sole control of the fund. We determine where the money goes. There's no one pulling our string.
Wait.
the Community Foundation of Chattanooga. They're the people who are serving as our fiduciary agents, but we determine where everything goes. So as someone mentioned earlier, I don't know if it was Rebecca or if it was Shane, but we've given over $30,000 in funds in roughly 2 years. And a little bit later, Camille's going to tell you some of the organizations that we've given to, but you're seeing some of those, or 4 of those, perform tonight. So without further ado, I want to welcome our next performer, Josiah Golson. All right.
My name is Josiah Golson. I'm a visual artist. Sometimes I'm a lawyer, and I'm a community organizer based in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga, Tennessee is my hometown, and I'm honored to be a part of this evening with such brilliant talent. And basically, before I perform, I'll just give you a quick explanation of what you're about to hear. So, my father, Randy Golson, is a very talented poet, and my mother, Pamela Golson, is a very talented painter. So between the two of them, being their son, I had no chance of being normal, like doing the normal thing. Even though I tried very hard to just be a lawyer and be the 9 to 5, or lawyer hours aren't 9 to 5, but for you understand what I'm saying. Like I was trying to do that, but it didn't work out, and it was because the inspirations for that took me to law school were the same inspirations that inspired me to become an artist. The lawyers I admired were lawyers like Barbara Jordan, Holly Murray, and Thurgood Marshall. People that figured out, oh, thank you. Great, now you have to go. People who figured out how to exist in the world that we're in, with all of its barriers, with all of its challenges, with all of its injustice, and creatively create paths, not only for themselves to make it, but for other people to make it. And what inspired me to be a lawyer is the fact that they, at the height of their powers, they articulate justice. But I wanted to not only articulate justice as an attorney, but I wanted to articulate justice as an artist. I wanted to create work like lawyers who I admired, like James Weldon Johnson, who wrote the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, and lawyers like Paul Robeson, who was a giant on the stage and in theater and in performance. And also individuals like Lorraine Hansberry, who were able to not only live in incredible times and have parents and family that did incredible things to create justice for all Americans and humanity, but they were also able to articulate it in a creative, artistic manner. And so I came up with this book, The Souls of Free Folk, which is a nod, of course, to The Souls of Black Folk, written and published in 1903 by W.B. Du Bois, who not only was only about 2 hours away from here in Atlanta, Georgia, when he was working on the essays, the 14 essays, that would become this compilation of groundbreaking sociology that told the story of Black folks from our arrival here to where we were in the present day, and in spite of all of the struggles, all of the injustice, all of the turmoil that was going on, the hope that Du Bois found in the creativity and the pure resilience and the craft and the genius of the African American mind and interior. So I took that inspiration, imagine what it would be like if Du Bois wrote that essay today and turned it into a poem with a bunch of illustrations. And so you'll be able to flip through it before you exit. We have plenty of books there, but what I'm going to do right now is just read one of the chapters from that. And if it's okay with you, if I'm not loud enough, I'm going to like the old school Pentecostal church and just speak straight from my lungs to you. And so I'm not going to use the microphone, but if I'm not loud enough, just holler at me and I'll get loud. I know you will. Pushing through the smog of this ailing society, I seek my spirit beneath the contemporary,
in the secrets of history. And I seek to illuminate the lives of those who I didn't see before my illness. Who are we? Where is our home? Should we abandon this road that we've travailed, or see what the end is going to be? Is this suffering putting all that I know to sleep, or waking an unknown life that I have yet to claim? I muse on the artistic markings of my mother, and I sift the sadness that would steal her shine. I whisper the words of my father and wonder why his poetic rhythm is rebuffed by life's routine. Taking the language and love of my folks as my only true treatment, I tread through the known and unknown temples of my town, with my eyes open for the faintest flickers of freedom. For maybe it's in these flames where the truth resides. Maybe it's in these flames where our healing hides. Back on the street, there is struggle, but there is still movement. I build the strength of my steps by following the determined path of those who marched before me. And even where there is no movement, stillness and silence speak infinite strength. And I awe at how we sit and stand in immortal resistance. In this constant fight, healing seems a luxury that we cannot afford. Yet I witness wounds resolve through radiant acts of love. Realizing the supernatural power of love, I use it as my lens to excavate the beauty that is buried like treasure beneath the sand of our aching skin. Love reveals the shine of my sisters in their confident and courageous stances. With open ears, I decipher the homeless prophet's cries into honest oral tradition as he tries to piece together past, present, and promise. I also see the wounded woman soothe her skin to reclaim it from the hands that enforced her screams time and time again. I receive sweet salvation from stories of song, harvested in records like revolving spirits waiting to be released. The spirits reveal themselves like the regal woman on the plantation's wilderness of white. She was queen even when cotton was king. I enter the museum and receive antidotes as I awaken with others to the glory of our unclaimed wealth. And we all recognize and revere our kings and queens who created their own crowns. Hear us, Martin Luther King Jr. Hear us, Lorraine Hansberry. Hear us, Muhammad Ali. Hear us, Nina Simone. Hear us, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Emerging through the museum, I caress the graffiti on our city walls, translating them into their hieroglyphic essence. And then the lines return my touch with an embrace that empowers me with history and inheritance, heroism and happiness, healing and hope. Filled with regeneration and revelation, I now see my body, our bodies, in beautiful hues of truth. All this time, we were Technicolor children, trying to fit inside a static black and white world. And you born of 1,000 bloodlines and stories, you must realize that you can no longer carry them in silence. Are you brave enough to embrace them and affirm your work to the world? Are you brave enough to be the real you? Are you brave enough to be the real you? Are you brave enough to be the real you? Our own fight for freedom is embedded in the very fabric of the flag, the red passion of our spilled blood, the white light of our uncompromising truths, and the beautiful music of our blues. We move through the darkness like lamps of love, lamps that illuminate our eternal essence amidst the abyss. For we are heirs to a glory that will never give out. And no longer do we sing hand-me-down hallelujahs in church, nor do we bear the chastisement made by a conspiracy of chains. For we love our way through the lashes of life. And this bold, brilliant, and beautiful love breaks the pain and reveals the balm of our souls. Our souls. Souls that grew beneath the earth like seeds of freedom, to spring forth and produce fruitful sounds that feed the whole world in every single season. I now feel the medicine in my melanin. I see the miracle amidst the madness, and I hear the music in my movement. And I behold us. I behold us, and I recognize that our cure is as plain as the beauty on our faces. The beauty I find in me, and the beauty I find in we. We, who flew as sacred fire out of the scattered ashes of our painful past. We who claim the present infinitely more than those bound by their ill-gotten bounty. And we who improvise the future with the beat of our celestial drum. I bring forth my spirit in a rush of release. The spirit is willing, and the flesh must break free. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm here to give a little pause of sorts because we're waiting for somebody to come up. But while we're waiting for somebody to come up, give another round of applause again for Felicia and the amazing dance. Fantastic. Also, another round. Can you hear me, Dr. Carter? Can you hear me now? There you go. There you go. Also, a round of applause again for Josiah. Josiah was absolutely excellent. Selecting these individuals was hard. Selecting the individuals were hard because, as you know, we have a wealth of talent, a wealth of folks that do such great work here. I have to give a round of applause, and I'm going to point you out, so don't feel bad. Lyndhurst Foundation, if it was not for you, we would not be able to continue to do what we do. A round of applause for Lyndhurst Foundation. Are you ready?
Good evening. My name is Camelia Franceschi. I am also one of the founding members of our Sankofa organization. Tonight, you've got an opportunity to see some of our recipients who benefited from the funds provided by Sankofa. And it's such a blessing for me to be a part of this amazing organization. I wanted to make sure that before leaving tonight, you got a chance to hear about some of our other recipients over the last 2 years who've benefited from the program. And if you get an opportunity to go to our Sankofa website, you'll be able to see a list of these recipients there. Just to highlight a few, we have the Howard High School Book Club, Sister City of Chattanooga, Splash, which is an awesome art program, the Citizen Safety Coalition, who provided transportation for college tours, the Passage, which is a mobile classroom. So as you can see, our list of recipients is very diverse in what they offer to better our community. So from here on out, I hope this is a name that you never forget, from the awesome performances that you've witnessed tonight to all of the other organizations who are doing amazing things throughout our community. You get a chance to pour into our organization to add to it so that we can bless others throughout Chattanooga. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
The next person that we have coming up originally is from Columbia, Maryland. Came down here to Chattanooga to go to school. Went to Covenant College, and he is now in his senior year. He only got a couple more months to go. How we fell upon knowing this young man. He was instrumental in helping us perform and get ushered here. And usher team was amazed by this man's quick talent. And let me explain what quick talent is. For some folks that know how to rhyme and rap, you know, I'm old, so I can't think that fast. But it's amazing to have somebody be able to create music that appeals not just to old ones like myself, but for young ones as well. He right now is presently working as one of the directors over at East Lake Expression Engines. I introduce to you Nabil, aka Soul Champ.
Okay, real quick, can we just give another round of applause to Sankofa? I'm gonna do a few selections tonight. The first one is a short song. It's called On a Roll. And for me, it's more of a mentality than a phrase. Thanks to Sankofa, I was able to collaborate with some local artists, musicians, producers, videographers, and so I'll be releasing a full version on the last day of Black History Month, February 28th. But tonight, I'm gonna do a super stripped down version, just me and the piano, so I hope you enjoy it. Live out your truth and I promise you, homie, you Moses. I'm gonna be telling you something. Had to switch the floor, had to switch the sound of us, see them harmonies together. On a sudden, big old order, highest bidder, guarantee. We still on day one, I'm on the way. Tell me how far, dog, I'm on the way. 88 with them keys, man, MJ went 20. B.I.G. thinking you feel it, it's coming. I swear on me, I've been on the road. I've been on the road. How you seen, man? I've been working here in Chattanooga, mama. Found me a home. Let me tell you now, I've been on the road. I've been on the road. How you seen, man? I've been working here in Chattanooga. Mama think I found me a home. Said I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. If you want them to talk, I can understand. Now I got the plan. You gotta give the people what they want. Said I'm on my way. We running, we hustling, we building, we scheming. 25 right around the corner, and I'm a fool of a brother. Ain't built on the season. Said I'm feeling like Jordan at 20. Just wait till I get to the league. But I love my mama, but I love my papa. I'm finna graduate, then I'll be free. You see, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Been on the road for a couple of days. Now all of a sudden, dog, tell you now, I've been on the road. How you seen? I've been on the road. How you seen, man? I've been working here in Chattanooga. I think I found me a home. Let me tell you now, I've been on the road. I've been on the road. How you seen? I've been working here in Chattanooga. I think I found me a home. All right.
I
problem. Oh, we all know the proverb, work twice as harder, go half as far. You won't lynch me, that be your problem. Oh, you got the power, well, now it's my problem. It got its pardon, things no pardon. You made some history, but that didn't stop. And when will we be free? When will we be free? God bless you all. I am an innocent man. God bless you all. I am an innocent man.
Father, forgive them. Oh, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do. They don't know what they do. You know, they don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth. But I know they ain't got killed by terrorists. Hope we all know what a mirror is. Hope we all know what a mirror does. And I pray we never settle in. And I pray that we can understand all the evil that be in our heart. But we ain't got time to be ignorant. Because there be all these children that be thinking that they got a fresh start. Know your history. I am not just leaving. Get to know the basics. Before you start claiming you ain't racist, I know what lies ahead. Paranoid by the feds. Just hoping that there's freedom for my great grandkids when they dead. But how we gonna progress if we cannot speak openly about the past? I'll ask again. How we gonna progress if we cannot speak openly about the past?
God bless you all. I am an innocent man.
I'm an innocent man.
God bless you all. I am an innocent man. God bless you all. I am an innocent man. God bless you all. I am an innocent man. An innocent man. An innocent the valley of death, I will fear no evil. You may wish me no
Take my
leave,
body from the bridge, but
that won't save your people.
go back, go back. I said, I know that one day, we're gonna fly. We're gonna fly. Said I know another day, we're gonna fly. I know one day I'm finna spread my wings, fly high as an angel bird sings the heavenly melodies, strong enough to sever these chains that's been sweating me since I've been setting these shoes. Like, could you walk in them? I guarantee a mile won't seem like a minute. And could you finish? Would you slipping on the booby traps that's been set up since the day I let a breath move in and out of this world? But I know it ain't home, and yeah, I I know I can't make it through this life on my own. I know that mama knows best and pops taught me right, and that I'm blessed to have both in my life. Ain't nothing like love, ain't nothing like love. You can ask anybody saved by the blood. Yeah, I'm waiting to see a generation of blackbirds flying through the sky as they take in what it's like to be free. Said I know. Said I know that one day I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. One day you go and see me smile like I never smiled before. I ain't never smiled before, nah, I ain't truly smiled, lover. What's real happiness when things always messed up? Can we go some time without another tragedy? Like maybe for a day can we live happily? And maybe for a week not see another name is pasted on a hashtag due to racist. And maybe for a month not see a mass murder to be heard of. To tell the kids nothing to be scared of. And maybe for a year not know what bad news is. Maybe for a change getting evil ones bruises. Martin had a dream, Rosa had beliefs, yeah, Malcolm had passion, and Oscar had the keys, see, Maya had a voice, and Bowen had a pen, and Nina had soul, and Tubman was a friend, and I know that they all looking forward to the time when the evil doesn't stall, all the freedom to arrive, help the future generation know a life we never did, a life we never did, full of happiness and bliss. And see their kids fly. I'm trying to see my kids fly.
If ever there was a time, the time is now to vote. There is power in the vote. We've seen in our local elections where community showed up, there was change. So we want everyone in here, if you are not registered to vote, please register to vote. If you don't know how to get started, there is a wonderful organization that has started a campaign called, or an organization called Proud Voter. You can go, you can find out your status. We understand that there are some people in our community that have a couple more hurdles to jump over to be able to vote. But your voting rights can be restored. So we have information about restoring your voting rights. The Sankofa Fund of Civic Engagement has put forth a challenge. We want anyone in this room, anyone in this community, to figure out a way to increase African American voter turnout with any type of event that you want to have. We have an application process that closes on tomorrow. It closes on tomorrow, but I promise y'all, if y'all really come in a great number, we may extend that. If y'all come with some applications, we may extend that. Because we want people in the community to come up with their own solutions. Come on. We know what it takes to get everybody in this room here tonight. We knew what it took. We also know what it takes to get people to the poll. If you haven't seen this form, Wakanda, the vote. That's my dress, y'all. This is my superhero dress. This is my Black Panther. So, in alignment with voter registration, people are being asked to actually host events around the movie on tomorrow, well, the launch is tomorrow, where you can actually get people together, get your squad, whoever they are, buy some tickets, put an event like this, or just some type of civic engagement event around the movie. Everybody go to the movie, take some selfies, text Panther to 91990 so that you're part of a national movement. There's no sense for us to waste all this momentum just behind the movie. We are glad for Angela and them. We're glad. But when that movie is over, we still have a president, we have a Congress, we have a Senate, we have local elections. If you are not plugged into local elections, we have county commission seats, we have school board seats that are getting ready to shape the future for Chattanooga. Let's plug in and vote. God bless you tonight. Oh, I'm supposed to introduce the next person. I got the dress, the superhero. I'm telling you already. So our next recipient that will be closing us out with our recipient performances is none other than the acclaimed, award-winning, humble, educator, watcher over our children, none other than the songstress herself, Miss Shawn.
I received the funds to record some of Bessie Smith's songs. My relationship with Bessie Smith Music and the Bessie Smith Cultural Center goes back to 1995 when I was in graduate school, and Roland Carter introduced me to, at the time she was the head of the museum, Janet Nelson, who brought me on as an intern. So part of my job as an intern was to find out information about Bessie Smith, learn about her life, find artifacts and pictures for the exhibition. The hall hadn't even opened then. So through reading, I learned a lot about Bessie Smith, and I started listening to her music. And when the museum opened, one of its opening ceremonies, she asked me if I would sing a couple of songs. And so I learned a couple of her songs, and when I first started listening to her music, her voice was kind of rough, and I thought, but then I really began to get into Bessie Smith as an artist. And so over the years, I have learned a lot of her songs. I have put together kind of an educational type program that I have gone to Chattanooga State to perform for classes there. I sang for music appreciation classes and other classes, teaching them about Bessie Smith. In 2012, I went to Hamm, Germany, and did a concert there of jazz and blues, Bessie Smith. And the first thing they asked me was, did I have any CDs? And I didn't have any. And so I thought, okay, this is long overdue. So with the help of the Sankofa Foundation, I was able to make this project come to life. And I teamed up with the creative writing teacher at school, and I have been teaching them about Bessie Smith, and we've been analyzing the lyrics in her songs. And they have been interviewing me, and they are going to write a collection of reviews and things that they have learned from this experience. And I'm going to put a booklet together that I'm going to give away with the CDs when I sell them. And they will be available the 1st of April. And if you want to order a CD, you can do it on my website. You can go to nishad.net, or you can get one of these cards and you can order one tonight. Shane graciously agreed to play for me tonight. And I'm going to do 2 of the songs from the CD. Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, and A Good Man Is Hard to Find. Different things with it. So this next song I'm going to do is called A Good Man Is Hard to Find. My heart is sad and I'm all alone. My man treats me mean. I regret the day that I was born. Never seen my happiness is yesterday. My heart is broke, that's why I say, call a good man. It's hard to find. You always get another kind. Just when you think that he's your pal, you're looking fine and fooling around with some old gal. Then you rave, you even crave. You wanna see him down in his grave. So if your man is nice, take my advice. Hug him in the morning, kiss him at night. Give him plenty love and treat your good man right. 'Cause a good man nowadays sure is hard to find. A good man is hard to find.
And I'm supposed to give some closing remarks, and I must say that my heart is so full right now. Just seeing all of you here, we are all just overwhelmed. We are encouraged, we're motivated. Sankofa is pride. Sankofa is a movement. Sankofa is empowerment. Sankofa is self-love.
Yes, it is.
Sankofa is liberation. Sankofa is unity. Sankofa is us.
Yes.
Sankofa is you. And Sankofa is me. We want to thank the Hunter Museum for hosting us this evening. We are all so proud. Thank you so much for just your presence and your support. If you want to continue to support us, to join us in this movement, please visit our website at www.sankofacha.org. Feel free to donate. As Carmen says, we are in control of everything that happens to every single dollar. There's power in our unity. And again, if you want to join that movement, please go to our website and donate.